All right, hey everyone, and welcome to whatever episode it is of our backyard garden. I am the plant lady, and the fuzz is asleep as always. It's a little after 6 o'clock, and I am out here to do a little harvesting this morning. Our potatoes are not being impacted by the slugs anymore, but the potatoes leaves that you see are leaves that you're going to get for the year. But I am making mashed potatoes tomorrow, and I kind of want to get some of these pots back because I also have some sweet potato starts that are ready to go in the ground. So we have a long growing season here in southeastern Virginia, and I'm able to, plant late, and hopefully by like October or so we'll get a crop of sweet potatoes. But just an update on the garden. I'm also going to harvest some of these potatoes over here. These are my white potatoes, my Kennebecks, and then down there are my red potatoes. So I'm going to harvest one pot for each of them. I have my gladiolus flowers. They haven't flowered yet, but I'm hoping soon. Maybe they don't like containers, I don't know. I have to do some further digging into that. Trying to hang on to my helleborus. They're a cool season plant, a cool season flower at that, but these shallow containers, they're just not doing well in the heat. Every day they're down, so I try to keep them watered as best as I can, but the plants themselves actually have some good rigidity in there. I have some ginger in here. I absolutely need to plant this in a bigger pot if I expect to have a good ginger harvest. I got some swamp milkweed over here, lemongrass right here. I was actually talking about this last week because it was much shorter, like right to that height there, and I was like, man, it's really not liking it back here, but it has really grown since I spoke it into existence. What's really been amazing back here are my grape tomatoes. We are getting grape tomatoes on a daily basis, and we actually have a oversupply of it, and really just need to cook more recipes and add them to our salads and add them to our dishes here. The beefsteak tomato, it's hit or miss. We've gotten our biggest tomatoes off of this plant in comparison to the one that's on the porch. But yeah, look at that. This is probably like the 4th tomato we've gotten off of this plant. And I don't really, oh wait, here's some more forming. Cool. Finally, I've been waiting on those forever. It's been this one for the longest time, but we finally have some more. But I might dig up this plant, and I have some more beefsteak starts ready to go, and I'll do better because the steak right here isn't doing too well in the container, so I'll do better to get a tomato cage so that it holds up on all sides. As you can see, same thing with the grape tomatoes. It is everywhere. It's in my lettuce bed. It's taking over my lettuce bed, and I'm trying to not make sure that it doesn't root in my lettuce bed. You can see it's rooting right there. But yeah, we're still eating lettuce. I might pull the onions today. They're not going to be as big as I had hoped. I really dropped the ball in watching these and getting them developed, so I might just go ahead and harvest the little ones and just have little onion bulbs. Still completely usable. I don't know what's even going on here. I've seeded some plants. I know this is a form of milkweed right here, and it's actually getting ready to send out flowers, it looks like. Just all kind of flowers. These are my beefsteak tomatoes. I have a beefsteak, and this might be a cherry tomato. Yeah, this is a cherry tomato, and that's a weed. But I definitely need to do better I might start some peppers again. I don't know. It might be too late in the season for that. I'm not 100% sure. And these are the tomatoes that I'm going to harvest today. This plant looks like it's going strong. This one can be harvested, and then I'm going to put some sweet potatoes starts in here, some slips. I made some slips that'll go in there. Yeah, these are my sweet potato slips. I kind of just left them alone in a little greenhouse structure that I have in the backyard here, and they are growing, so it's time to get them in the ground. Green peppers are kind of, they're trying, but you know, they don't look good. These are my banana peppers. I've had way better banana pepper plants, huge pepper plants in the past, and I don't know what's going on. Ever since I moved down to Virginia, I've had an issue growing peppers down here. So you know, it's been 4 years. This is my 3rd season of growing peppers down here. I'm just gonna have to work at it, and I firmly believe it just might be too hot, and they might need a little bit more shade in the afternoon than what I'm giving it. But we do have, you know, 1 pepper forming. I'm sorry, we have 2. Yeah, so it's all good. Zucchini, we have zucchini, but I don't have much hope for this guy here. I don't know that it got pollinated all that well. So that's another thing I need to do today is any flowers that are open, especially on these cucumbers, I will be hand pollinating today, probably this afternoon. I've picked off 2 cucumbers so far. Here's the 3rd one back in here, and it's ready to come off. It wasn't fully pollinated. You don't, as you can see, the cucumber didn't extend all the way out. So issues with pollinators back here. Okay. Now I'm not expecting much out of these potatoes here because I've never container gardened potatoes before. I'm hopeful, but I'm not expecting the pounds, you know, like how I got when I was growing in a community garden. And I don't expect, you know, there's not enough leaf surface on here to continue pumping out potatoes, so we might as well just harvest what we can. Oh yes. Oh man, there's nothing on that one. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Okay. We might harvest a little bit more red potato containers than I thought. So we got 5 so far. Hardly worth the cost, you know, that I paid for soil and containers. Could have just bought it at the store. Really did not do a good job, guys, as far as 1, controlling the slugs, and then 2, healing the potatoes in order to get a better harvest. So I need to do better at that. And so what I am going to do is I'm going to use some of these smaller red potatoes and try to get a second crop out this year, and do better at hilling and keeping the slugs off. I have diatomaceous earth to help me stay ahead of the slugs, and plus it's very hot now, and they should not be as prolific as they were in the spring. So we'll try to stay ahead of it. We have about 4 more months of, you know, of a good warm season before the frost comes, and so we'll try to push out a second crop of potatoes and also tomatoes. And I grow lettuce year round, so that shouldn't be a problem. But we're definitely, you know, with these warm season crops, we'll try to get them out as the temperatures cool down. But let's check out this white potato harvest. These look a little better. Still issues with slugs and also hilling our crop here, but they look better. We have some sizable potatoes. But yeah, I think I'm going to actually harvest all the containers. Potatoes store well, and so I think I'll do that. There's just no point if we're just going to keep getting these little things. Well, actually we can make a meal of it, and then I can harvest them as we need our meals. But I think I'm going to harvest some more red potatoes because I wanted to use the red potatoes for mashed potatoes with the skin on. So delicious. Sour cream, butter, salt, pepper. That's the way to go. Alright, so got the potatoes in. Everything's nice and watered in. Now we're going to harvest all of these cherry tomatoes, or grape tomatoes I should say, that are nice and red. This one is overripe. We won't be using that. And then actually, I'm thinking about it, I am going to pull this larger tomato plant and get it out the way and put in the fall beefsteak plant. And I'll be sure to go out today. We're going out shopping here shortly, grocery shopping, and I'll be sure to buy a better steak so that it's not growing all over the place. But for now, we're going to just plant it and harvest these bad boys here. Oops, I accidentally picked the green one off. The grape tomatoes have been just excellent in its production, whereas the current beefsteak that I have, and I'm not sure if it's a beefsteak, it's a Parks Whopper, and I've been disappointed in its production, and that could totally be on me and the conditions that I'm giving the tomato. But for now, in the conditions that I have right now, they are very small. I haven't tasted them yet. We have 3 sitting on the table, but I have yet to taste it, so I can't comment on the flavor right now. But the size of the tomatoes, they are just very small. This is the biggest one, I said, that has come out of the garden so far, and it's encouraging. But the other ones are about half the size. So, but this is my beefsteak tomato. It's looking great. Like I said, we'll be sure, we're going out today, and I'm going to make sure that I buy a cage and put this over it today. It's been growing since March, and the seed that I have for it is about 12 years old, so for this to still come up like this is encouraging. But I, you know, granted, I planted 6 of them, and this was the only one to come up, so that tells you a little bit about the germination rate. But yeah, that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to plant this tomato. I'm also going to harvest these cilantro seed heads before they drop down into the soil, and then I have a weed issue for next year. I think my battery life is going to expire, plus I have to get ready to go grocery shopping with Officer Thick. So I hope you enjoyed this garden update from our backyard garden, and we will catch up with you later. Peace.